I'm a painfully slow reader, but I wanna read more, so welcome to my series 1 week, 1 hour, wanna read. Today, we're continuing with this. The whole cat and caboodle is in my hands, 1 hour is set, let's see how far I can get. Hi, so, first of all, apologies, I know I missed a week, but that week was kinda hard for me mentally and I wasn't really in the mood for reading, so apologies. But we're here for the book, so let's talk about that. First, I read for an hour and 3 minutes, which is 2 chapters from page 83 to 111, which is 28 pages. It is very easy to read. The whole Cat and Caboodle is very easy to read, and I did notice that it really feels like I am reading faster than books that I read before, because the language is very easy, very understandable, and the flow is also pretty easy to read and follow. So yeah, 28 pages in an hour, it does seem like I am reading it a bit faster than something before. But my compliments to this book, I can't say that they end on this, but let's talk about things that kind of annoy me. So previously I already said that author uses a lot of he said, she said, they said, a lot of the word said, and it bugs me more and more the further I read, because what do you mean, I just can't, I'm sorry. The example I can give you is on almost every page where there is a dialogue, it is written as blah blah blah, I said, blah 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 blah, she said, blah 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 blah, I said, blah 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 blah, she said, and it constantly goes like that, and it not only bugs me that it's always like said, she said, he said, I said, whatever, but it also like constantly indicates that someone said something where sometimes you don't even need that. Okay. Let's forget about that, because I can talk about this very minor detail for a long time, but let's forget about that. Another thing that I noticed in one of the chapters, I read 2 chapters today, so in the first chapter that I read, which was 6th, I noticed that there is, let's just say the language is a choice. So the author wrote, have you had some supper? Do you want to get some supper? Which is like, I would say dinner, because in that context it was evening part of the day and the characters in question were finishing their workday. I would say dinner just from the perspective of people using it more often, but again, it's just a choice. It just bugged me a little bit because I never in my life heard the saying of like, do you want some supper? But again, maybe it's just me, I don't know, tell me in the comments. Another thing that I found in the 2 chapters is inconsistencies and grammar mistakes, which surprises me considering this is not an indie book that I bought on Amazon, but like something that I bought in an actual bookshop. So again, I have not yet googled anything about the author, so I might be wrong about it, but I kind of expected there to not be any mistakes like that, because there are 3 that I clearly saw. One of them is an inconsistency, so found it. Okay, the narrator, which is the main character, says, I changed into a black sweater and my favorite pair of gray suede pull-on boots. Excuse my reading out loud, I really don't like doing that. Okay, remember, black sweater. She changed it into a black sweater. We flip from page 85 to 87. And now, I pulled my hooded red sweater over my head and grabbed the beaded bag, blah 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 blah. Since when is it... Okay, hooded, sure. Since when is it red? Maybe I'm not understanding something, I don't know. Maybe she's wearing a sweater over a sweater, so like a sweater and then a hoodie, which I don't know why, but Honestly, in the context, it felt like she put on a black sweater and then a page later, the author forgot that it was black and now it's suddenly red. That's just how it read to me. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong again. Yeah, so the next thing that I found, again, we're flipping one page over to page 89, and here I saw a comma instead of a dot. So again, it will be a crazy amount of time. Okay, no, I found it pretty easily. Okay, so the sentence goes, the folded map on the seat beside her was a dead giveaway, comma, beginning of a next paragraph in like a quote, because I know you like Sam's fish chowder and Sam blah 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 blah. So it's a character saying something. It is not connected to the previous line whatsoever, but there is a comma instead of a dot, which I'm pretty sure I saw a similar kind of mistake somewhere before, but yeah, here it is like the comma and then there is the beginning of the line. So again, a typo, sure, whatever, happens to everyone. It's just weird that it happened twice, you know? If I had a penny for every time, yeah? Like, okay, and then we're going to a third thing that I saw, which is on page 107. I will read you a sentence, and you tell me if something bugs you. And then I will tell you what bugged me. So, this is a quote from a character. A few days at least, there'll be an autopsy to figure out just how Arthur Fenety died. Did you notice? I will read it again. There'll be an autopsy to figure out just how Arthur Fenety died. They'll. Like, it's a literal they will. Which, I mean, I don't know. Am I going insane, or should it be there will be? Because, like, the structure of the sentence kind of gives me there will be an autopsy to figure out just how Arthur Fenety died. Or it should have been they will do an autopsy, perform an autopsy. They will perform, they will do an autopsy, they will figure out. So, again, maybe my English knowledge is just leaving me right now, but to me it seems like a clear mistake. And again, doesn't bug me too much. Honestly, the biggest issue I have with it all is the amount of the word said. It is driving me insane. But everything else is like minor details, which I'm only pointing out because I did not expect to find such things in a book that I picked up in a bookstore, instead of like on Amazon where like someone of my friends wrote or something. Like, you know, I just expected quality of like the best-selling novel, which I don't know why I expected that. Besides the fact that I bought it in a bookstore, it doesn't indicate or look like anything like of insane quality. On the other hand, it is a New York Times best-selling thing, so like, I don't know. Well, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. But I am enjoying it. Despite whatever I'm saying, whatever I'm pointing out, I am enjoying it, which kind of shows that sometimes you just need to go along with minor inconveniences and just concentrate on something that you actually want to read, even if it has some inconsistencies or plot holes or whatever. Also, as an independent author myself, it kind of gives me hope because I edited my book myself and I did everything about that book myself. Like, so yeah, that gives me hope. This book kind of gives me hope about my book. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I left off on the page 111. Next chapter 8 is on 112, and I will come back to it. Maybe this week, maybe next week, but I will. So, see you later. Bye.